Welcome to the Christian Hardscaper. Today's video is going to be how we cut all these patio pavers and installed this contrasting border brick around this circular fire pit. Let's just hop right into the video, guys. Our next step here is to mark around all these pavers around these fire pits. It's a pretty tight radius, so what we do is we keep about 1.5 inches off of the fire pit and leave these gaps the way they are, because if not, there'd be a lot of cuts, and two, with a lot of cuts makes the bricks themselves look weird. So we use this stone in those gaps for drainage. Any water that might possibly build up around the fire pit can drain underneath the fire pit. Alright, so that chip stone you just saw in my hand that you're going to see again is actually what we use for bedding stone to lay pavers on. It's a permeable product. It's 1/4 inch crushed stone, and it's called chip rock or chip stone where we get it. And what that's going to do is be able to fill in our large gaps while interlocking the border pavers tight, and also allowing any possible water buildup or anything around the fire pit to drain freely down and through into the patio base. Alright, so we got our line marked out. See the red line there? So the next step is, while it's in place, I'm going to score the edge about 1/8 to 1/4 inch. That way when we pull each block out, we have an exact measurement where it needs to be. But I washed it off. Let me show you the line. Looks really clean. So like I said, now when I pull out each paver, I know exactly where I gotta cut it. The red line sometimes is off a little bit, and when you put the pavers in, the cuts just don't line up perfect. So always try to score your line before you actually have to cut it. But the line looks really good. Now we're going to pull them out one by one and cut them. Alright, so I made the rookie mistake on this day of forgetting the small sheet of plywood that I usually will bring to lay down on the pavers and make my cuts on. One, to stop the mess that I'm making, which isn't really the big deal. That can be washed off really easy. But it's for when I put the saw down like that, as you see, it doesn't accidentally tilt forward and hit the pavers that are already installed, making a mark on them. That can really be a pain, then having to pick it up and replace it. But that didn't happen. I was pretty careful with how I was cutting it. It's just something that you don't really want to have to happen. Okay, so let me explain real quick these inner radius cuts. If this were an outer radius cut, like the outer edges of this patio. If you check out the other video on how I installed the patio, you can leave the pavers right in place and cut them without worrying about messing up the score line. But an inner radius cut like this, you have to do it as I just did. You have to cut a straight line from the beginning of the radius to the end of the radius on that particular paver that you're cutting. And then you're going to be spending the rest of the time using your saw at a pretty severe angle like you're seeing, just slowly cutting away little bit by little bit the excess left from your straight cut. And what this is going to do is allow the border paver that you install to sit up nice and tight with the cut piece, but the only thing you're going to see is the score line that you made at the beginning. As you can see, all these pieces that I've cut are just very fresh, and it just is the only way really to make these inner radius cuts as crisp as these are. Last one. There she blows, Benny boy. I didn't say anything because I didn't want to jinx it, bro, but we didn't even break a piece.
That was a good thing.
What do you think, guys? I feel like I got a parrot on my shoulder. Looks mint. Okay, so because of the way we laid this border out before we marked it and made our cuts, with a nice even joint gap around the entire fire pit, and not having to cut the border pavers themselves, this is just going to be a nice easy task from here on out. We're just simply laying the pavers in with the same amount of joint space in between each one, laying them a little bit higher than the pavers around it so that we can set them into place with our dead blow hammer. The last step you'll be seeing Ben do behind me is we're filling in the joints in between the pavers and in between the pavers and fire pit with the chipstone that we use for screeding our patio. Like I had mentioned before, it's a permeable product that will allow for any water that gathers around this fire pit, possibly in the future, to drain right through and down into our patio base, our permeable patio base.